Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto channel. We are live. It is Sunday. How is everyone? How are we doing today, guys? Everybody get over the shock of what's going on. If you've been in the Anthony Lee Crypto crew, we have been expecting this for some time now. I mean, we called it to the dang day. Literally, we were looking for that monthly close weeks in advance. So this should not come as a shock to you. If you're not in the crew, you're probably super surprised, though. That's okay. We'll catch you up to speed. Let's see who's here. Salt Chain, what's up? What's up? How are you, Max? What's up, crew? West Coast says, howdy, crew. Salt Chain, hope you're all having a good weekend. We're having a great weekend. Hawkborn, hey. All right, we got a little, got some things. We're gonna let some people kind of come in here in the next minute or two. And we're going to kind of dive in. Ryan Hansen, good to have you back, brother. Glad you're here, man. Glad you are here. We're going to let a couple people come in here, and then we're going to dive into it. Got some good stuff. Got some game planning. A lot of people are freaking out right now. I've been kind of scrolling around, looking at folks online, and everybody's freaking out. Like, what do we do? We are planned and ready for this. This is my favorite time of the cycle. Everybody likes it when it goes up. Excuse me, going up's great. Going down is even better. Max, I made $300 free in the KCEX competition yesterday. Yes, I have no idea why I didn't switch to KCEX years ago. Been telling you guys. KCEX is where it's at. That's where I trade. I do almost all of my trading on KCEX. Affiliate link below or banner above. KCEXtrading.com. I don't care if you use my link or not. Just go get signed up. You won't regret it. It is the lowest fees in the game. You will not find lower. Guaranteed you won't find lower. And they give you free money to trade there. They give you free money. You're automatically entered in a competition. It's not something you have to do special. You're automatically entered. I also trade, I'll flip out the banner real quick, MEXC. MEXC Trading.us. They have the same low fees as KCEX, but I don't think they give you free money in the competition. You get free money for signing up for both of these. They give you free money just to sign up and do a couple of things. Like you sign up and share it on your Twitter, you get like $200. Or you sign up and you deposit $100, $200 or something like that, you get free money. They give you free money, like $500-$600 free just for signing up, guys. MEXC Trading.us and KCEXtrading.com. I'll put the MEXC in the pinned comments in chat too, so you're missing out if you're not there. I guarantee you. Yeah, West Coast says good job. I agree. Good job. I got some money in the KCEX competition too. It wasn't $300, so you must have beat me. But I didn't do much trading yesterday. I only took 2 trades yesterday. I showed them yesterday in Discord. I think I showed them on stream. I made like over $900 on one, and then I broke even on the other. Tried to catch an SFP and just couldn't quite get it. And so there we are. Good job, brother. Very good job. Guys, we're ready. We are ready. But like I said, a lot of folks are freaking out. They don't really know what to make of this, and I haven't done any trading today. I have been game planning for us, so in the crew. By the way, join our Discord before I forget, and then I'm going to move on, guys. Last thing, join our Discord, AnthonyLeeCrypto.com, or you can join the Discord below in the description. The VIP Discord is where it's at. You can come here to AnthonyLeeCrypto.com and join us. I give away all of my trade signals, and guys, we're going to make, oh my gosh, we're going to make so much money easily in this bear market. There's an old saying, which I don't know if you're a billionaire, a millionaire, or a thousandaire, but millionaires are made in bull runs. Billionaires are made in bear markets. And it's true, okay? The big money is made in the bear market. Whether you're making money to, or you're doing trades for money, or you're doing trades for accumulation. Either way. And I'm going to show you in the crew exactly how we're going to do it. This was my bread and butter for like 6 years or so. That is all I did was spot trade. And then I got on leverage trading probably 4 or 5 years ago and started with that. But all the income I made was just from spot trading, accumulating coins, and every once in a while shaving some profit off and transferring to pay a bill or two, you know, things like that. So now everything's paid for. and I'm going to show you how I did it. I'm going to walk you through it, this bear market. You can make an unbelievable amount of money. Guys, we're going to do most of this on altcoins. Now, don't panic. Those of you that are here for Bitcoin, I'm still going to leverage trade Bitcoin, okay? That's great. But spot, or if you want to leverage trade alts, I don't leverage trade altcoins. I'll spot trade them, and you can make more than enough doing that without the risk. We're going to make so much money. Just hear me. I really don't care what anybody thinks of altcoins. I don't care if they're going to zero. I don't care if they're going to $1 million. I don't care. All I know is they have liquidity in them. They go up and down, and I can make money on the up and down. Okay, that's all. That's all that matters to me. I don't care which project's better than the other. I don't care which one's going to outperform. I don't care. As a matter of fact, let me clue you in on something that most people haven't thought about headed into the bear market, okay? Everybody's like, oh, I'm going to short Solana. I'm going to short this. I'm going to short Ethereum. I'm going to... Listen. Those are blue chip altcoins. Yes, they're going down. Everything's going down, okay? But if you're going to short an altcoin, listen to me. And this is going to light bulb for most of you. Pick the nastiest, worst, going to zero project that you can possibly think of, okay? I mean the worst one, the one that just sucks. It has no utility, no use, it's going nowhere, and short it. Why? Why short an altcoin that's going to hold up better, maybe only go down 50% from here when you got one that's going to go down 99% from here? Think about it. Think about it. Pick the worst, dirtiest, nastiest altcoin you can think of and short the heck out of it. That's how you do it. Just like you pick the best, most potential altcoin to go on up, you know, because it's going to do well, it's good, it's a blue chip, it's going to do great. Same thing on the way down. Pick the worst one, short it. It's probably going to zero. You're going to make a fortune. Think about it, guys. Anyway, but I will caution you. Everybody thinks Luna Classic. If you look at my chart over here, up here, ignore these greens up here. That's like the VIX and stuff. Obviously, when that's green, everything's red. But look at my chart. Everything is red. And everybody thinks Luna Classic. You remember Luna Classic used to be worth over $100, right? And then there was some big scam with Do Kwon or whatever his name was, and it crashed down, right? Look at Luna Classic. It's up 7% today while everything else is massively red. Luna Classic, for whatever reason, when the market dumps, it pumps every time, okay? And when the market's pumping, Luna Classic is dumping. I'm telling you. I own 1 million of these, so I watch it. I mean, 1 million's like worth about $50, so don't get excited. But the only reason I still have them is because I bought them on Uphold and I can't transfer them off, and it just is. I just hold it. What if it recovers one day? I mean, I'm certain it won't, but what if? So be careful shorting that, because there's going to be a lot of people, and that's probably why it's pumping. The market is dumping, and everyone thinks Luna Classic is going to zero, absolute zero, so everybody's shorting it. Liquidation, liquidity spike. It's a short squeeze. So just be careful with that one. Pick the next dirtiest, nastiest one, right? XRP. I'm just kidding. Just kidding, XRP Army. Dagbjort, what's up? What's the worst one? I don't know. Probably, if I had to guess, I'll tell you one. I'll tell you one that's a really good coin. It is a great project, but it might go to zero. It's ICP, believe it or not. Okay, it's a really good project. It's got a really good team behind it, but it's the coin that was linked to Sam Bankman-Fried. I think he helped create it, and I know he owned like billions or hundreds of millions of dollars worth, and it was wrapped up in that. It was released at like $600 and immediately crashed down to like $5 or something ridiculous. I'm not going to pull it up. It's a waste of time. It was a whole big scam around SBF and that. And the project is actually really great, but it has such a bad stigma because his name was attached to it that investors just couldn't get behind it, even though they had some really innovative things come out around it this past cycle. I used to own ICP, owned a lot of it, as a matter of fact, and it just never could quite get going, and it never will because of that stigma. So that would be a good one to short, in my opinion, although it is so far down already. It's just, what do you do? What do you do? I don't know. Pick one. Pick one. I don't know. All right, guys. So let's look at the macro, okay? I'm not going to look at any micro. I'm not trading today. I might trade tomorrow. It's really a dangerous trading area. But first of all of this move was over the weekend, and you know how weekend moves are. They could easily be reversed. I don't think so. Not in this case. And I'll tell you why. First of all, we've had some major macro bearish signals. Those of you that hopped on the stream with me yesterday, you know about them. The monthly 5/13 EMA cross, which has always been a death sentence. We got that confirmed. I mean, the list goes on and on. Everything we've been talking about for the last couple of months has been confirmed, okay? But secondly, we're in no man's land, okay? Let me show you. So we officially, up until yesterday, even with this big drop, even with the drop from 126K and the most recent drop from 98K, we were still in a technical uptrend, okay? Let me go to a more blank chart. We were still in a technical uptrend. Let me hide some of this. Let me hide some of this. Okay, we were in a technical uptrend. Sorry, guys. Getting all this adjusted for you. I thought I had it all set up. All right, we were in a technical uptrend, right? Even as we've come down from here in the most recent 98K, this was our kind of macro-ish low. Kind of, I don't want to say macro. It's macro low. It's macro low. But we were still technically in an uptrend, right? We hadn't broken that, had not broken that, but now we have. So now we're in a macro downtrend, okay? Yeah, we were here. It just wasn't confirmed until yesterday when we took this low, okay? So now we're officially in a downtrend. We can officially expect lower prices. How much lower? That's the question, okay? And we're going to take a look back at, let me go to the 3-day time frame so I can see more. And I know, let me preface this entire video with, I understand what happened in past doesn't necessarily have to happen now or in the future, okay? But, however, last cycle looks so dang similar that we would be foolish not to at least take a look and see what happened, okay? All right, so I put these circles on the chart yesterday. I showed you guys the circles. I think I screenshot it. I forgot to save it, but I think I screenshot it. Here we go. All right. On the left is last cycle on the way up at the top and on the way down, and on the right is this current cycle. Now you can see these circles line up, I mean, almost perfectly. If I were to do a bars pattern, a fractal, and put it over there, which I hate fractals, but if I did, it is almost exact. Certainly the structure of it is exact. Just a few candles, maybe a little different, a little longer ranges, things like that, but it's exact, pretty exact. So right now we're in circle 7. Okay, you see 7 on the left, 7 on the right. We just left circle 7. Well, we were pretty much in free fall last time until you got in circle 8, right? And circle 8 lines up with the bottom of 2 and 4, okay? Lines up with the bottom of 2 and 4, somewhere around, really more like circle 2. And so that's what I think we can expect. You're kind of just in no man's land now until you get to circle 8, in my opinion, which is going to be this original range, this circle 2 range, okay? So this is not touchable for me unless we get a slight retrace, a little baby bounce, and then short back down. It is untouchable right now for me, okay? And that's the beautiful thing about a bear market is, you know, when you broke, this is why you can make so much money. When you broke, this was an all-time high from previous cycle. When you broke this all-time high, right? Right here, you broke the all-time high and went up. You didn't know what to trade, okay? There's nothing to trade. You had to come up here. I'm on the 3-day time frame, but you had to spend a week or two to form a range before you said, okay, that's our range. We can trade this range. And you got a little trading. By that time, boom, it left the range. Took you a few days, 4 or 5 days to form a range. And then you could trade this, and then it left. But on the way down, you've already formed ranges, right? You already have ranges. So when you come into each one of these ranges, and we may not go this low, you get the point. when we come into these ranges, we're not going to have to wait a week, 2 weeks to form a range to know what to trade. We're already going to have a value area range, point of control, right? Value area high, value area low, and point of control. So we can immediately start trading as soon as we come in because we can anticipate support and resistance here. So it's beautiful, right? All right. And I've got those ranges marked out for you guys. But this is no man's land. Do you see how this is just kind of straight line up, straight line down? And we've already broken this, so we're really just waiting to come into this range and start trading it. You can't trade this. If you get a little move up and rejection, maybe test the underneath side here, and we have targets I'm going to show you. Maybe bearishly back test some of that. You could short and then come down to this area and start trading, and that is my game plan. But as it is now, until that happens, you can't touch this. So what are our ranges? Let me throw on. All right, so you can see we've lost that range, right? We have lost this range. And again, the U.S. could open up tomorrow and say, just kidding, bring it back. I don't think so, but they could. So we're going to at least wait until then. But I'm saying we're going lower, and here's our range. So the beautiful thing is I was able to go ahead and put on a volume profile for this range, and then I just extended the blue, red, and blue lines out. So now we have a range. When we get in here, we can treat this just like a volume profile, okay? Come on down, you know, you break into it. Boom, there's your short. There's your TP1, bang, bang, bang. Boom, there's your TP2. You're going to lose it a little. When you come back in, there's your long. TP1, bang, 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 TP2. We're going to treat it just like a range, right? Just like any other range trade. This is what we're going to do because we're going to anticipate an extended period of time like this. Maybe not this long. This was about 7-8 months. I don't think we spend that much time in here, but I do think we probably spend a couple of months in here. And guys, the bad news is this range goes all the way down to 56K. We very likely could go lower. There's a poll in chat. Go ahead and hit it up for me if you will. Let me know how low you think Bitcoin's going to go. We very likely could go lower. Everybody said last cycle, you can't go lower than previous all-time. Can't be done, can't be done. It was done, okay? It was done. That time was different, and this time could be different too, okay? Matter of fact, this first resistance zone here, this first support and resistance, this first range here, that we formed on the way up out of the bear market, okay? That first range, that is the area Bitcoin went to last time, which is also, and I showed this on the chart, the 786, okay? Which is where it went last time. I'm going to show it again. Boom. You see how on the left, out of the bear market, starting in the last cycle's bull run, right? You stopped here for, I don't know, a couple of weeks, okay, a couple of weeks right here. Well, that's where you came down and found your final layer of support. I actually dipped below it, but you found some really good support in there and bounced around this for a few months, and then you dipped below it just to wipe out anybody who was 100x longing this into a new bull run, and you moved up and out of there, right? Well, that is circle 1 and circle 9, and you see in the current cycle, circle 1 and circle 9, that could take you down to 40K. If not high 30s. And if you think it can't be done, hold my beer and watch this, right? Bitcoin's going to tell you that. Not me, because I don't drink, right? Y'all know that. I don't drink anymore. It can certainly go there. I'm targeting this 55 to 60K area. Okay, anything below that's a bonus for me, but I'm targeting the 55 to 60-ish K area. So it can... Look at West Coast, is 36 to 50. Bro, that's a big range. That's a 30% range. You got to narrow that down a little bit for us, brother. Let's see, 36 divided, 1/3 of 36 is 12. You're giving us a 16K range. That is almost a 50% range. You got to narrow that down a little bit, brother. I like your style, though. I agree with you. I do agree with you, though. I think we come lower than this range. I think best case scenario, we could come wick this low right here, about 48K. I think best case. I think we're going lower than people think. Listen, don't believe all that crap. Institutions this, institution that, blah, 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 blah. Who do you think has been the biggest seller in the last few days, causing most of this? Institutions. Institutions are going to keep price high. Don't give me that crap. Institutions don't care whatsoever if you or I make money. They don't care. In fact, the only way they can make money is for you and I to lose money. So you're absolutely crazy if you think the biggest and best players in the game won't manipulate this market to confuse you and cause you to lose your money. BlackRock is the biggest single seller of Bitcoin in the last 3 days. Go look it up. Fact check me. Yeah. Institutions will not prop this price up. Why? Why would they? You people, us, me, you, we're so short-term minded. Like, we think like BlackRock cares about what happens to Bitcoin over the next year or 4 years into the next cycle. BlackRock is in this for the long game. They made this investment for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So the lower Bitcoin can come, the more they can buy. You know, they don't care. They don't care. Hang on one second. Sorry about that. Catherine Lee just came in here. She's gonna, and Edge, come here, Bubby. Say hey to Edgy. Come here. Oh, get on camera, Bubby. Oh, the big old dog. Good boy. All right, get down. Come say hey to the audience. Catherine Lee, she works with you on Discord sometimes. Say hey. There she is. There she is. Some of you know her as Jane. If any of you Jane fans are out there, we got the lovely Jane in here. So thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, there goes Edge. He's getting after something out there. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. But yeah, institutions, don't buy that narrative. Do not buy that narrative. Trust me, that narrative will get you wrecked. They're in this, and they know how to play the game better than any of us, okay? So, Bitcoin trying to break down from this massive head and shoulders. You can see it right here, clear as day. I mean, this is like one of the most obvious head and shoulders I've ever seen, right? Head, shoulder, boom. Trying to break it out. Haven't quite broken the base of it yet, but when we do, I haven't even measured this out. Well, let's see. I'm not a pattern trader, but let's measure it just for S&Gs. Boom. Put you down there, right where I said I think we could go. Wick this bottom, put you down about 46, 47K. Okay? Very possible. In fact, very likely, in my opinion. So, yeah. But you're at least coming to this range. You have nothing to support you here. There is nothing here. The one and only time you did come through here, you were there 1 week, boom, straight through it. So you're coming straight back through this. And yeah, you're going to chop here for a while, if I had to guess, a couple months. And then you're probably just going to go bing, boom, just like that, okay? It's probably how it's going to look. Something very similar, if I had to guess. There's Wendy. Wendy said looking for Annie. Jane is in the other room. She's probably reading this. She might bring Annie back in here. That's probably what Edge was just chasing, honestly. Let's see if she comes back in here. The lovely Miss Jane, y'all. Jane has a large YouTube channel. And she has a lot of folks that she loves so much over there. And they show up every once in a while to give us support, and we appreciate them so much. All right, guys, I'm going to move on, but if you have any questions on these targets, let's take a look at the poll, see what everybody thinks. But if you have any questions on those targets, we're going to move on. How low does Bitcoin go this bear market? Most of you think 50 to 60K. 18% say 70 to 75K. Interesting. Yeah, I think we bust through 70K within a week and a half at most. But interesting. I do have like something really cool I'm going to show you on Altcoins in a minute that made me kind of scratch my head this morning. 40 to 50K, 27% if you think 40 to 50K. I told you, I'm more in the boat of 40 to 50K is going to be our ultimate bottom. but I'm a buyer at 50 to 60K. Uh-oh. Wendy, here's Annie. Oh, Lord. Come see me. Oh, there's Annie. You want to say hey? You want to say hey? You want to say hey? There's Annie. All right. We have animals everywhere. Everywhere. All right, guys. So no questions on the macro, but listen, I encourage you, go to these areas on the chart that we visited previously, and don't be naive enough to think we can't come here. We can, okay? But go to these areas just like I've done with this area here. Put on your value area range, okay? I'll show you. We'll do it at the smaller area here, okay? Put on your value area range, grab your range tool, figure out, eyeball it. Where's your range there to about there? Okay, throw the range on. Then what you do is go to the ray tool, horizontal ray tool, and you mark out each line. Mark out each line, and I like to color code them. So you got blue, red, and blue, right? And then you just want to save that. You just want to save that, okay? Just like that. You can lock them in place, save them, and then you've got your ranges, your preset ranges already. Preset ranges. So when you come down here, it's easily tradable. And if you don't get to this range, so be it, okay? But if you do, you've already got it marked. You don't have to sit there for 2 weeks and watch it form a range before you can trade. You'll know exactly where the range is. And the range may vary a little as it gets here. You know, maybe a slight difference in ranges, right? But it's going to be close enough to get you a start and get you a couple successful trades. And if you're not sure, join the Discord because we're going to trade the heck out of this stuff, right? Okay. So there they are. There are ranges for the way down, guys. I'll let you screenshot that if you want. And this is on the 3-day time frame. All right, guys. Let's take a look. I showed this yesterday, but let's take a look at Lionheart. There's Jane. There's Jane. We are under a confirmed monthly Lionheart signal. Confirmed. Okay, guys. The target for Lionheart monthly is it's a moving average, so it's going to move. But as of today, it's about 63K. It probably won't get much higher than that. It'll probably be around there when you get here. 63K. We're also under confirmed 3-week, but we almost hit that. That is at 74.8-ish, 74, 74.5, somewhere in there. Right there, you can see we almost hit that. We'll hit that probably this week. The 2-week confirmed and exited already. That was a 20% move predicted by Lionheart, which is an indicator that I created that is only available in the Discord. Join the Discord. It's free. You get this indicator. 20% move it gave you, guys. It gave you. 20% move. And on the monthly, there is still, as of now, there is still 18% left in this move, guys. And this will hit. This will hit. 18% left. And that's if it stops there. But that's just for the target of this indicator. It will likely go lower. It has had 2 previous Lionheart monthly signals, and they both went lower. You can see here. Kind of hard to see, but it did go lower. It doesn't look like much, but it is actually a good bit lower. Went 15% lower there. And here, you actually went 37% lower. So expect lower, but at a minimum, you got 18% left in this move, guys. Do with that what you will. All right. Let's talk about something that I'm going to do in Discord, guys. I'm going to do this in Discord, and I kind of mentioned it yesterday on stream, and I've talked about it a little bit with folks in the VIP Discord today. Here is how I made most Salt chain will stay in this short until it hits. Hey, listen, I didn't know this, okay? I had 3 people yesterday, 1, 2, 3, message me. One of them was still in the short that we took live on stream at 98K, okay? Somebody's still in that short. Congratulations. We went live on stream. I'm not going to call them out. They can chat it up if they want, let you know. I'm not going to put their business out there. They're still in that short, and another one got in the short when we went live right here, is still in this short. I think most of you folks have closed these shorts out, but we went live and took these with you. I went live in the VIP Discord and took both of these trades with you. 3 people are still in these trades that I know of. Maybe a lot more. I don't chat with everyone in Discord. Really only if you message me. But at least 3 of them are still in these trades. So good job, guys. We gave them to you. We took them. I took profit on mine. I closed mine. This didn't go how I planned, unfortunately. I should have kept a runner. But I really thought we were going to bounce that point of control and come back to 99.5K, front run the 100K, and that just didn't happen. But we made plenty of money. I'm not complaining. And I will still enter this trade. I'm just going to wait and see what happens tomorrow with the U.S. Open. I would actually think, you may have even heard folks talk about this before. I would think we get a, it's called False Move Monday. False Move Monday, midweek reversal. That's what I would anticipate. False Move Monday, midweek reversal. I mean, or they could just nuke this thing down. But I would look for False Move Monday, midweek reversal about Wednesday-ish. That's how I'm playing it. Let's move on to the goods, though. And what I'm going to tell you, don't worry, guys. We're going to do plenty of Bitcoin trading. But let me show you how I make a fortune. I mean, you'd be shocked at how much I make with these altcoin trades, okay? Don't freak out. This is not an altcoin channel, but we can do both. We can do both. Okay. I don't leverage trade alts, but I do spot trade them, okay? I posted this in Discord earlier. Look at Algorand. Now, I did this with Algorand last cycle. The white line here, the vertical white line, shows where I think we are at this point last cycle relative to where I think we are now, okay? This white line is where we got that monthly Babylon cross for Bitcoin, okay? And that's where it happened in the last cycle. Well, after that, on the way down, this is just a fraction of the pumps we got. But look, just even on the way down, I understand it was a macro downtrend, so short it now. Short it all the way down. That's great. But in the meantime, you can catch these pumps. 22%, 40, 46, 60, 33, 86, 34, 55, 24. That doesn't even include the dozens and dozens of pumps that were like 8, 10, 12%. Okay, guys? And that is a lot of money. Okay? And I want to show you what helped me get on board with this. Okay? Let's look at WorldCoin because I like me some WorldCoin. Let's look at WorldCoin. And I want to help you. I need you to wrap your mind around this. Okay? I need you to understand this. And I'm not trying to say you don't, but maybe you've just never thought about it. Okay, let's go to the weekly on WorldCoin. Let's go to the 3-day. Okay, WorldCoin last cycle, and I don't know what WorldCoin is going to do or what your coin is going to do next cycle. I don't know, and I don't care. That's for you to figure out. I'll figure out where I think my coins are going, and I'll let you know, but you can figure out where your coin. So last time, WorldCoin went to $12 this past cycle, right? $12. That was the all-time high. Let's just assume, and I don't want to just, I know you can't assume, but let's just say WorldCoin did $12. Let's just say last time, next time it underperforms and goes to, we go take this high here, so right here, right close to $5. Let's say we go to $5, okay? We just come, because there's liquidity above these highs, right? So they're going to come get some of this stuff next cycle, most likely. They'll probably come get this one, probably come get this one. They may or may not come to all-time high. I don't know. Let's assume they don't. And it only goes to $5, okay? Well, WorldCoin's at 39 cents right now. Let's say in some, and I don't, WorldCoin was not around for last bear market, so I can't really say what happens. But let's say we catch these pumps on WorldCoin. By the way, I'm doing this on 3 coins, WorldCoin, Dogecoin, and Algorand, okay? They perform differently. And I have certain criteria, certain signals, if you will, that I'm looking for entry on these bounces, little bounces, okay? And if you go back and look, sometimes you get this criteria met on WorldCoin but not on Algorand, or sometimes you do on Dogecoin but not on WorldCoin. So I want 3 different options. That way, number one, I may get the one on WorldCoin this week, catch that right at for 10%. By the time I'm getting out of that, oh, here comes Dogecoin, hitting the same entry signal that I'm looking for, and I can get that for another 6 or 7%. So I want to be diversified like that, but I encourage you not to do this with too many coins. 2 to 3 coins, you can kind of become, this sounds gay, but intimately familiar with how the coin moves, support and resistance. When it moves, does it typically go 3% or does it go 8%? You learn the volume gaps. But if you're trying to do this on 20 coins, you just can't remember that about every coin. But 2 or 3 coins, you can really grasp how they move, right? So don't overload yourself. 2 to 3 coins is plenty. I did this with 3 coins last cycle, and I absolutely killed it. I did it with Algorand, I did it with ICP, and late in the cycle, I got on WorldCoin. So really, I did it with 2 coins, and kind of third towards the end. But here's what I want you to wrap your head around. Let's just say let's just make something up. Let's say every one of these pumps, these little bounces, you make 1,000 WorldCoin. Okay, WorldCoin's only at 39 cents. So 1,000 of those, I don't even know what it is. What? $390, $400? You're like, oh wow, I made 1,000 coins. I made $300. Big deal. First of all, it's $300. But second of all, you can also accumulate if you don't need the profit. Let's say you got a job that pays your bills, so this is just kind of extra. Or let's say you pay your bills with Bitcoin leverage, which we're also going to do. If you use these for accumulation, right? Accumulation, and not using it to withdraw to the bank account, think about this, okay? You just made 1,000 WorldCoin every one of those trades, okay? Some of you may only make 300 or 400 coins. Some of you may make 3,000 or 4,000 coins. Let's say you averaged 1,000 coins, okay? And WorldCoin goes to $5 next cycle. That means each one of those trades could be a $5,000 trade in a couple years. I know it's not now. I understand. I get it. But you've got to start. If you're accumulating, what I want you to think, I tell everybody, I used to do this just locally with friends. I would tell everybody during the bear market, you're thinking coins, not dollars. Coins, not dollars, okay? You're accumulating coins. You are not accumulating dollars, because every time you pick up 1,000 coins, that means you bought a little lower, you rode the bounce, and you sold, you picked up 1,000 coins, right? Well, your portfolio is going to go down because you're coming down. So each time you're coming down, but you're accumulating coins. So coins, not dollars. Then when the time is right for things to move up and out of here after the halving, all that good stuff, whenever, that's when the dollars pay off because of the coins you accumulated. So I started doing that last cycle, and I was on Algorand, and I was hoping to get $1 out of Algorand. So every time I would pick up, a trade for 5,000 coins, I mean, Algorand was only worth like 10 cents or so, 10 cents. So, it was only like $300, $400, $500 at the time each time. And I'm like, I'm doing all this for $300, $400, $500. But then I was like, wait, I'm actually doing all of these trades for $5,000 a trade because I expect this to go to $1, right? Just want you to think about that, the psychology behind it. It's not what you're making now if accumulation is your goal. Now, if paying the bills is your goal, it really depends on the balance you're starting with. You're trading with a $100,000 account. Yeah, every time you get a 10% pump, which we're going to get lots. I just showed you a dozen of them at like 30% or more. If you're trading with a $100,000 account, then every one of those 10% pumps on spot trade gives you 10 grand. Yeah, that's a lot. But if you're trading with, $5,000 spot account, that's not so much. A 10% one's giving you $500 or 500 coins. So you're going to have to start thinking of, if you're accumulating, that 500 coins is a $2,500 trade, each one of them. It's just going to take you 1.5 to 2 years to pay you. But that gives you a lot of time to accumulate 500 coins per trade. And that is exactly what I did last cycle. I started out with I don't remember. I showed the screenshot the other day in Discord. 120, 130,000 Algorand last cycle, and I wound up with over 1 million. And by the time I finally sold off of Algorand, or partially off of Algorand, I sold over 700,000, which I showed the screenshot, and that's what I used to buy WorldCoin when I finally got on WorldCoin and started doing it. So then I had Algo, ICP, and WorldCoin. But I pretty much, I slightly over, almost 9x, that 8x, 8.5, almost 9x'd my Algorand holdings just doing this. And I'm not going to tell you the signals and entries that I look for. You're going to have to be in the Discord for that. But join us in Discord. The Discord is free. And then you can join the VIP Discord and you get all my signals. And I'm telling you guys, this is where the bread and butter is made. The work is put in the bear market, and then you just kick back and watch it all ride up, okay? And in the meantime, we're going to leverage trade Bitcoin for current cash. So if you can do that and survive off current cash leverage trading Bitcoin that we're going to do, then I encourage you to use this altcoin strategy that we're going to do as accumulation, because you're going to make an absolute fortune. And I'm not blowing smoke. I'll show you the screenshots. I'll show you my portfolio. You've already seen part of my portfolio. Anyway, I'm done harping. I just want you to understand, if you're only leverage trading Bitcoin, you're missing out on the bulk of it. All of these pumps right here, go fact check it. I'm not fixing to go through them. All of these, 22, 40, 46, 60, 33, 86, all of these for Bitcoin were like 7, 8, 12% pumps. I mean, maybe one or two of these was like 20 or 25. But pretty much you got double, if not triple, the percentage gains by doing this on alts. And I know alts suck. I don't care. I would rather take a 46% pump here than a Bitcoin 12% pump, okay? That is all that matters to me. That's it. So the percentage are much more profitable, okay? And in turn, when we get that 12% pump on Bitcoin, we're going to add leverage to that, even if it's just a 3x leverage, so that you get the same 36, 46 percentage gain, right? So we're going to do that. Just trust me on this altcoin thing. If you've never done it, I'm going to walk you. I'm going to nurse you through it, actually. And it's going to be a beautiful thing. I guarantee you. All right, off my soapbox. Any questions on that, guys? And you can certainly do this with your own altcoins. Even you folks in Discord can certainly do it with your own. But I will not do it with any other altcoins for you. I've got my 3 picked. I have reasons that I've chosen those 3. And I just don't want to overload myself with having to remember too many altcoins. So you can either do it on your own with your own altcoins, or use these 3, which I don't know why you would do it with any other altcoins, unless you just want to, because they're all percentage gains, right? I've just chosen these for very specific reasons, besides the fact that I'm familiar with 2 out of 3 of them. Kind of new. Doge is kind of, I've never really tracked Doge before, but the structure of Doge looks better than the structure of the other 2. So I like that. Algorand has by far the most history. I don't know if there's any coins besides Ethereum that's been around longer than Algorand. There's a lot of history there. So a lot of support and resistance, a lot of predictability there. And WorldCoin is, man, if you guys have never seen WorldCoin move on that sucker, I posted it the other day, a few weeks ago. I put in $76,000 and it went up over 30 grand. I showed you guys. I showed it to you. And then last week, it did 50% in like 2 hours. Bam. This thing is crazy. It's crazy. It's a loose cannon. I love it. So, I love it. Plus, it got an all-time high of $12. That's a 40x from current price. I like that. All right, guys. Questions? I went over this chart yesterday. I don't know if this plays out. I have no idea. I'll give you a better answer on this tomorrow after the U.S. opens. Let's see. West Coast. Never thought about altcoins that way. It's coins over dollars. It's coins over dollars. It's coins over dollars. 100% in the bear market. Think about it, though. Think about that. If you're in a coin that's going to $5, every 500 coins you accumulate, you're like, God, that's only $500 I made. $500. No, bro. It's $2,500 because this coin's going to $5. Yeah, I agree. I don't care Bitcoin or alts. I just want to make money. That's right. That's right. I understand. Hey, if you're a long-term investor, like you're buy and hold, you're a hodler. I get it. Get you some Bitcoin. I get it. I agree. But if you want to trade and make some money, trade altcoins with me and watch what I tell you. Just give it a chance. Let's give it a chance. Let's give it a chance. We may not get a good altcoin trade for a minute, okay? If this thing is fixing to kind of free fall for a minute, you know, we may not get a good trade. We may get a trade tomorrow. I don't know. But, you know, we may not get a trade until Bitcoin gets down in this area. And then when Bitcoin starts chopping here, these alts are going to start 30, 40, 25%ers left and right, man. Telling you, left and right. If you're trading with a $100,000 account and you catch one of those 40%ers and you get 25% of it, that's 25 grand. 25 grand. And there are a lot of them. There are a lot of, this is not even all of them. This is just the leg down. That's just the leg down. That is not even the chop in the bottom of the bear market. That's just the leg down. I can zoom in on this. See this 40% right here? Yeah, you could do one trade here. Or that's like 20%, sell. There's another 20%, sell. There's another 20%, sell. If you catch those, and I have specific entry and exit signals, so we're going to know when to get out of these. You know, same thing with all of these. I mean, this 22%er, you got two waves up. Look, 1, 2. I mean, those are each 20%. So you could have made 40 if you caught it. It's just unbelievable. And then you can zoom into all of this, and there's so many 5 and 10%ers. It's unreal. It is unreal, guys. There's just a lot of money to be made. I'm telling you. This is my forte. I told Catherine last night, I said, thank the Lord. I said, praise Jesus, hallelujah. I said, we are getting back to my wheelhouse. Like, this is where we make our money. Like this, if you've never done it, you just don't understand how much can possibly be made on these. I'll tell you one thing that's kind of interesting, kind of makes you scratch your head. Let me clear some of this. With these altcoins is, let's just go back to our good old Algorand because there's a lot of history there. And I haven't done this with all coins, but I did look at several. Okay, Algorand's all-time low, and you can see it goes back here. This is the third cycle for Algorand. The all-time low is right here about 8 cents, right? At the bottom of the bear market. So this is the macro value area range, the entire life of Algo. We're there. We're at 10 cents already. And supposedly we have a long way down to go. We're just really getting the confirmations of bear market, right? So I was like, are we really fixing to do this? And just absolutely blast through that? Or are we fixing to do this? There's some people that believe this. There's some people I've heard the whole super cycle stuff. This time is different stuff. A lot of these altcoin charts are at the very, very bitty bottom of the macro value area ranges. Look, down to it, gone. Down to it, gone. We're there. WorldCoin's below it. WorldCoin is below its value area range. Now, it really only has one cycle. This came out in 2023, so it only has one cycle. So we don't know how low it would have gone in a bear market. This is where it was released. So you can't really count where a coin's released because you don't really know. I mean, by the end of this bear market, you know, the new value area low could be down here somewhere. We just don't know. That's why I like charting on WorldCoin. There's so much history, you know already, right? But I don't know. We're at the macro value area low. I mean, last time we did this, we ripped up a 5x. Are we about to do that again? I don't think so, but don't sleep on these altcoins just in case. We'll be ready for it if that happens. But I definitely don't think we're at the bottom yet. I think we take out at least these. I think every coin takes out its October 10th low. At least. As a matter of fact, I could show you. I could log into my Kraken. I have a standing $50,000 buy order at 27 cents, which is just below this. I'll show you. Some of you are like, no, you don't. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I'm going to show you. Hang on. Let me log in. I don't want you guys to. Some of you little clever folks out there might know how to get my info. I'm going to show you. You think I'm kidding? And just so you don't think I'm doing something tricky right here, I'm logging in. I use Kraken Pro, by the way. I encourage you to never, ever use Coinbase. They will big brother you. I'm banned from Coinbase. I posted this in Discord too. They wanted me to show where, I don't even remember the number, where I got like $475,000 or something from. They wanted all this information from me. I mean, job, earnings, pay stubs, all this stuff. And I sent them a good bit of it, and they're like, that's not good enough. We want this, that, da-da-da-da-da-da. And I said, you ain't big brother of me. I withdrew all my stuff, and they banned me. All right, let me see. Look, I'm going to show you. Right here. WorldCoin, look at it right here. You can see at the bottom. Here's my order. I have, sorry, I set it at 28.1 cents. $50,000. I think. 28.1 cents. That's 198,000 WorldCoin. It doesn't show me my dollar value. So 198, 178 times 28.1. I have a $55,000 order sitting there waiting. Just waiting. Just waiting. $55,000. Just waiting. I'm not kidding you guys. You see it right there. It's a live order. Boom. To buy me 200,000 WorldCoin. WorldCoin goes to $5, which all-time high is 12. It goes to $5. That's a $1 million trade right there, guys. I'll take it all day. All day long, guys. Like Lionel Richie. That's all night long. Sorry. Dagworth's in Kraken. Listen. Kraken Pro, yes. Kraken Pro, do not go to regular Kraken. Their fees are ridiculous. But Kraken Pro, any of you that are traders, first of all, you don't have to be a trader, but you'll be very familiar with the interface. It's super easy. Just please don't use Coinbase. You'll be big brothered. Guys, join us in the VIP Discord if you want to do this altcoin trading. I just showed you a $55,000 order that I have, and that's just one of my accounts. That's not the account that I'm going to trade with. That is going to be one of my buy and hold accounts, okay? And I just have that just in case we like flash crash in the night and I miss it. I'm confident. I'm ultra confident we at least take out this October 10th low on WorldCoin, okay? And that low was at 27.3 cents. My order's at 28.1 cents, okay? So right there at it. I don't know how much lower we go, and it's close enough for me. Don't nickel and dime this so much so that you miss your trade, you don't get your order filled, and you're rebuying at 40 cents, okay? I always front run these a little bit, okay? If you're leverage trading, that's different. You want to make sure you get the SFP, you come down below. But if you're spot trading alts, what you don't want is you got it right on that tippy-toppy wick, and it comes down and says, oh, God, and you think it's coming back, it's coming back, it's coming back. Shit. And then you're buying in at 50 cents. When you could have got 28 cents, but you held out for 27. Don't do that. I've done that so many times. I get so mad. Because what's going to happen next, you're going to buy at 50 cents, and it's going to say, oh, just kidding, we wanted 27 cents after all. Don't do that. Don't do that. Buy at 28 cents. There's an old saying in business. I owned multiple businesses back in the day before I retired, thanks to crypto. It says, don't cry over pennies when you're making dollars. Right? It kind of goes with that customer's always right kind of thing. Like if some situation is going to cost you a few dollars, you know, like $100, but you know you're really making thousands on the, just let it go. It's okay. You're gonna risk losing thousands because you wanted that last $25. Don't do that. Don't do that. You'll regret it. And at the end of the day, if this goes to $5, does it really matter if you bought at 28 cents or 27 cents? I mean, does it really matter? You got to think about that too. Yeah, it matters if you buy in at 50 cents versus 28 cents, but does it really matter 27 versus 28 cents? Don't miss your trade for 1 penny. Even if it goes there, so what? So what? All right, guys, join the VIP Discord, AnthonyLeeCrypto.com. I'm telling you guys, I'm not going to go through alts every day on our live streams, but I'm going to show you as we are in these trades and as we're pulling down $10, $20, $30,000 trades on these. I'm going to show you, but I'm going to give them to you as I enter them in the VIP Discord, okay? So if you want in on that, get in the VIP Discord, AnthonyLeeCrypto.com. Get in on our trading, too. We're going to still leverage trade Bitcoin. I know I've said it, but KCEXTrading.com. Go directly to KCEXTrading.com or my affiliate link below. You will not regret it. Max won $300 yesterday. Are you going to create a channel on VIP for all this? You have the Alt TA channel already. We do a different one. I doubt I'd do a different one. I didn't have anybody kind of chime in that they wanted a separate channel, which we don't really use the altcoin channel in Discord very much, in the VIP Discord. On occasion, I posted a couple of trades or this or that in altcoin, I think. I know I posted the WorldCoin trade a few times, 2 or 3 times. I'll probably just use that because nobody ever uses it for anything else. And I encourage you guys, hey, listen, if you're in on this altcoin stuff with us in Discord, and you know we're following Dogecoin, WorldCoin, and Algorand. If you're following another coin and you see a setup or something, let us know. You know, hook us up. We're a team. You know, let us know. Hey, you know, I don't know. Chainlink has a news event that's supposed to happen. They're supposed to partner with somebody. It's coming out on Wednesday. And then keep us in the loop so we can look for some of these pumps. You know, just like we fill you in and we're looking for things. Let us know. You know, there's plenty of money there for all of us. So let us know if you see a bullish setup coming up. You know, we got inverse head and shoulders forming on Cardano. You guys might want to take a look at this, and you know, maybe there's not an inverse head and shoulders on Dogecoin or WorldCoin, and we might get to look at Cardano and just get in on these here and there. We would appreciate it if you help us out, all of us. We have a very limited time in the bear market. I mean, yeah, it's a while, but it's limited. After that, it's hard to make money in bull runs. It's hard. You're accumulating here in the bear market and then riding up. So it's easy to make money when you're just riding up, but it is hard to accumulate in the bull market. It is very hard to accumulate in the bull market. It's easier to leverage trade in a bull market and accumulate trade in a bear market. Much easier. All right, guys. So we covered yesterday the stats for February, right? We covered the stats for February. And we also covered the stats, which I think are more relevant in that first month proceeding, the first month that follows the confirmed cross, which we got the confirmed cross yesterday, okay? So the cross is confirmed, so that's only happened twice before. And I showed those stats. I'll show them briefly here, but I'm not fixing to go through them all. Flashbang. Here we go. June of 2022, we got the cross. In November of 2018, we got the cross. And both of these equaled about the same dang thing. Both of them started out with a move to the upside of about, one of them was less than 1%, one of them was about 4%. So the average is about 2%. Both of them then had a move of 44+% to the downside. In that month, both of them closed at exactly 37% to the downside that month. The wick was 44, the closure was 37, okay? I'm not saying we're going to get a 44% drop in the month of February, but I'm just saying that is what happened both of the last 2 times this cross occurred, okay? Both of them, exactly that way. Both of them moved to the upside in the first week, okay? Let me show you. I'll show you again. Flash, bang. November of 18, we got the high, less than 4% high on the 7th, okay? June 2022, we got the high of 0.5% on the 5th, okay? So both of them moved to the upside in the first week, very small move to the upside, and then all down after that. So that's what I say. It wouldn't surprise me to see this week kind of open up false move Monday to move up, I don't know, 2, 3, 4% or so. And then midweek reversal, bang. Midweek reversal that never stops. It wouldn't surprise me, guys. Be on the lookout for this. We're going to be on, this is going to be my Babylon trade, okay? I got out of the trade at 98K. I got out. I had it, guys. You saw it. I showed the P&L. I made $3,700. I had it. And then I did it again at 91K. Made another 2,300, whatever it was. So we made $6,000 on this, but we should be up about 30. Okay? My bad. But I'm ready. When we get here, if we get the reaction and we get the confluence, okay, this is my Babylon trade, and that's nothing to snub at. You could, I mean, that's 45%, 44%. Even if you came down to the topish area of this, and really you'd more likely we would just range trade it at that point. Let's go back to our range. We would just range trade it. We got our range right here. We would just range trade it right there. Right? You're definitely going to come inside the value area range, probably to the value area low, honestly. So if you just targeted that and didn't target anything lower, I mean, you still got 27%, 25% to the point of control. You got 20%. That's a big trade, guys. I know it looks like we're close, but that is a big trade. So we're going to enter this most likely this week, probably no later than the first part of next week, but most likely Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to enter this trade, guys, in the VIP Discord, okay? That is going to be our big Babylon leverage trade for me, okay? And then if we do get that, I probably won't trade anymore. No more Bitcoin trades. This is just a straight line down that'll probably take about a month, okay? There won't be anything to trade. You won't get any of this stuff, okay? And if you do, it's going to be immediately rollover, okay? That's it. That's what we expect. But then once we get in here, then we'll resume our Bitcoin trading until and if we lose this and come down here, right? Okay? But this is one trade. That's it. One trade for me. One trade. All of it's subject to change. Anything can happen. And we will, of course, trade if something happens. But this is the biggie, guys. We gave it to you here at 98. We gave it to you here at 91. Several of you are still in it. And we're going to give it to you most likely this week when we get this, okay? I won't close this one until we get at least here 65K. At least. I'm probably going to target more like 55, 56K. Even if we start bouncing, I'm not closing this. Because I don't see any chance that we come back up here. None whatsoever once we get vacuum sucked into here. I mean, shit, this took 7 months. I don't think we come down here in one day and rip back up. Nah. So be ready, guys. This is coming this week, most likely this week. Head and Shoulders. It's true. All right, guys, question on those altcoins. Society. What's up, man? Had to learn that the hard way, trying to get 10 cents and missing the spot. Oh, my gosh. Do you have any idea how many times I've done that? I have done that. I used to be an altcoin trading machine. I'm talking, and I'm not bragging, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I'd be sitting on a trade like WorldCoin here. Well, I was on Algo for the most part last cycle. I can't even tell you how many times. I'd be sitting like, just right here. I can guarantee you I did it on this one. I can guarantee you I did it here. You got that little wick there. You got all these lows here, right? All these lows, and we're riding down, and I know we're going to take it and go. And we front ran. I'd miss the whole move. I can't tell you how many times I did that. Because I had the mentality of a leverage trader that I want to SFP this, get that liquidity and go. Man, these altcoins don't care about liquidity on the way down. They're bouncing because Bitcoin's bouncing. So what the key is to watch Bitcoin, and I guarantee you if we go and check the chart, Bitcoin took these lows. Bitcoin swing failure pattern those lows. It just happened to be that the altcoins weren't that low yet when Bitcoin started to bounce. So the difficult part about trading these altcoins on the way down and in the bear market, the difficult part is you have to trade them based upon the Bitcoin price action. Because when Bitcoin bounces, these are going to bounce, whether they SFP their lows or not, period. They're just going to bounce to a greater percentage. And whether they took their highs or not, like this one did take the high here. This one did take the high. But even if it didn't, let's say it came up like this and didn't, if Bitcoin's ready to dump, it don't matter if they took this high. These things are going to dump. So you have to keep one eye on the Bitcoin chart at all times. That's what makes it difficult. That's what makes it that's why you have to be a pro or learn to become a pro. You cannot watch the altcoin chart. That's what makes leverage trading altcoins so dangerous, because no matter how bullish your setup or how bearish, if Bitcoin ain't going in that direction, you're going to get wrecked on that altcoin. But you can't lose spot trading. Do you know that it is impossible to lose spot trading? Hear me out. It is impossible to lose. The only way you can lose spot trading, well, first of all, I guess you could technically buy the all-time high and it never go back to all-time high, right? Or something can happen and that coin could go to absolute zero. Those are the only two ways you can possibly lose on altcoins, right? Possibly. That's it. Because let's say you bought right now. Let's say you thought we were going up. We're going up right here now, grand. I'm going to buy 100 grand worth. We're going up, and it goes like this. The only way you lose is if you sell. Otherwise, you just wait till it comes back up here. And you still win. It may take you a minute, but you can't lose. You can't lose. When we're near enough the bottom that you cannot lose on any of these altcoins. They will come back up to at least 10 cents. Right? The absolute bottom is 8 cents. You can't lose. You can't get liquidated. You can't get stopped out. You can only lose if a scandal comes out and this goes to zero, or you choose to sell for a loss. That's it. That's what makes it so beautiful. Throw on the fact that on the way down, you got just an absolute onslaught of 30, 40% pumps here, 50, 80, 30, 25. Jeez, come on now. This is a money-making machine right here. You just got to know how to do it. Anyway, I hope I've sold that on you enough. I don't know why I'm selling it. I don't make anything if you spot trade altcoins. But I just want you guys to be successful. And I know that people don't do this. People don't do this. And I'm a little bit more of an outside-the-box thinker sometimes. So when I first got into crypto, this was my first thought. This is the first thing I thought of to do. I was like, I can make a lot of money doing this. And everybody else was like, oh, the thought never occurred. So let me walk you through this. I only want to see my people be successful. That's it. That's it. That's the only reason I'm harping on this so much. I only want you to be successful. And this is by far the easiest way to do it for the kind of gains that we want. All right, guys. Well, I think that is about it. Let's take a look at Bitcoin price, see what we're doing. We do have, let's look at CME. We should have a gap coming up here. I mean, we got a gap up higher anyway, so who knows? Who knows? This is the stage of the game where gaps get left behind. So we're going to have a gap right here. It's not open. Obviously, CME is not open. We're going to have a gap right here at about 84.5, right? And price is going to open. Jeez Louise. What a dump. Price is going to open down here about, not even on the screen, down here about 77K most likely. So you're going to have a massive freaking gap here, guys. I don't think this gets filled. That is a huge gap. They might fill half of this. I mean, big might fill half of this. If they fill the whole thing, you'd be about 9-10%. Technically, all you need to have a mitigated gap fill is 50%. So I could see 50%, somewhere about 4%, which would be in par with kind of what we're expecting. That'd be on the high side of what we're expecting, but I could see it. This will be interesting. But there's also, for those of you who think they have to get filled, There's also gaps up here, guys, that have not gotten filled and probably won't get filled. There they are. See the gaps all the way up to 98K, guys. There's gaps. It's gaps. These aren't getting filled this cycle. I'm sorry for those of you that think all gaps get filled. No, they don't. Most of them do. I'll give you that. Most of them do. And we trade them, but these aren't getting filled, I don't believe. This whole thing's going to be a big gap right here. This is going to be one big gap. Best case scenario, in my opinion, we fill half. 80K-ish. 81K. Our previous low that we were looking to break was like 80.6K. We could back test that. There it is, right there. I hit the line on it right there. Back test that. Back test the breakdown. Gone. That's where I put my box. Anyway, this was well before that. It's had nothing to do with CME. And that's where I put my box. Starting at 80K up to about 81.4. That would be in line with statistical averages. This box is based on statistical averages. Had nothing to do with CME. It's just funny how that works out. All right, guys, if we don't have any questions, Hawkborn says, I'd love to shift focus off Bitcoin. Not sure about anyone else, but that sounds ideal. I'm telling you, don't knock it until you try it. I'll tell you another thing that's great. A lot of folks struggle with psychology of leverage trading. It can be nerve-wracking. This eliminates all of that stress, all the stress when you're spot, because you can't lose. Yeah, if we were trying to, let's go to algo. If we were trying to spot trade up here, you know, let's go to the daily, 2-day, whatever. If you were trying to spot trade up here, right? Like spot trade up here, yeah, you might get lose. You might get lose because it might never come back there, okay? You cannot lose right here unless this thing goes to zero. There's no way. There's no way algo is not coming back to at least 10 cents at some point, right? No way. 99% chance. So unless you sell for a loss, you can't lose. Worst case scenario, you get a bad buy and you got to hold on to it for a few months. Worst case scenario, which sucks. I get it. But worst case scenario in a leverage trade, you liquidate and lose your entire account. All while you were looking for a 3% Bitcoin move. At least on these, we're looking for 20s and 30%ers, right? So if you do get stuck, you got stuck for a good reason. Not searching a 3% move. All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here. We will be back tomorrow live for the U.S. market open, and I'll be looking to trade, okay? I know I said I'm not trading right now, but I really want to see what the U.S. does. I want to see what the market does. Does the market just continue? If the market continues tomorrow straight down, I do not think it's a fake out. I do not think it's a false move Monday. Just based upon what happened last time, I do not think, where do we have it? Right here, I do not think it would be a false move. I think we would head right down to it. So what you really want to see tomorrow, like you can see here, this is where we are, right here, right where this yellow X is. That's right where we broke the lows here. They just moved right down to it. They did not really give you the pull back up, okay? However, what we would like to see, because we really want in this trade, and if they just open up, ding, 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 I can't short this. I can't do it. I just can't do it. You already know what's going to happen when you do. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, I went short. Okay, there we go. You already know it. So what we really want to see tomorrow is the U.S. open up, or even Asia tonight. Open up, doing like this for a couple days, and then come Wednesday, Thursday-ish, that's what we want. So even if you're in a short, don't worry about this little pullback. Hang on. You ain't going far. But let the rest of us get on board with you, right? All right, guys. That's what we want to see. I'll see you guys tomorrow live for the U.S. Market Open. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Jane, for making an appearance. Thank you, Wendy, for being here. Jane, as I know, is super excited. She got to chat with you for a bit. Other than that, guys, I will see you